Welcome back to another episode of Uploaded Unfiltered, the podcast in which I, your host Jermaine, talks about the mindset side of creating content. I think this is the first time I actually switched up the intro, but an event that happened this past week has got me thinking a lot about content creation and more so the responsibility we have as creators when it comes to serving our audience. Now, if you haven't heard, Kevin Rose had a roast not too long ago. I think it happened like May 10th. I guess it was a couple of weeks ago. And during the roast, people do what they do at roast. They talk shit and go in on somebody for the benefit of a laugh. Now, I'll be upfront. I did not watch the roast because that type of entertainment is not entertaining to me. I don't get any benefit of watching. I don't enjoy watching people talk shit to other people. Just not my bag of tea. Or not my, you know what I'm saying? But anywho, there's this guy named, I think his name is Tony Hinchcliffe. Never heard of him before a couple of weeks ago. Know way too much about him now. But apparently he dropped some very insensitive jokes during the show, some very racially charged jokes. And of course, everybody was upset because we're tasteless. They weren't funny. And I ended up hearing what the jokes were, and I agreed they were not funny. And I don't think they had any business being at that roast, but it's not my roast. It's Kevin's roast. And so, of course, he got backlash for the joke. And he went on the Breakfast Club and was basically saying, I don't control what other comedians do. Tony Hinchcliffe had one of the best sets the whole night. And it was just interesting to see how much he was going to bat for this dude. And so I made a quick video, just basically said, oh my God, here we go. You can see Kevin's doing his tap dance routine. Because in my mind, and he bragged about this several times during an interview, that his production company handled the roast. So if my production company handled the roast, it would be on me to make sure that the guests that show up to my roast are the type of people I want to be associated with. Simple as that. I don't know if that happened. And that's the assumption that I'm going on. I find it hard to believe that if I was putting on a show and I had, it was my production, I would have say on who can come to the show. Now I'm going to screen their jokes, but I am going to make it very apparent. These are the type of jokes we are not joking about. Now, he kept saying that comedians can say anything. Comedians have an unwritten rule. Comedians know comedians, blah, 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 comedians. And it's funny to me that we've gotten to a point where we think that comedians just can say whatever the fuck they want. I mean, I guess that's always been the case, but I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit. Just because you can say whatever you want doesn't mean that you should. There should be some type of thought processes going into all right, who am I going to upset? Who am I going to piss off? But I mean, again, they don't need to. And that's totally on them. And my whole thing was that it's cool if Kevin wants to go to bat for this dude. It's cool if people want to get off their racist jokes. I'm not here to tell people what they can and can't do. I am saying that I'm no longer supporting Kevin Hart. Because in my mind, nothing like that would happen in my life if I was running things. And I do run things, not if. So that kind of content doesn't enter my world unless it comes through in the back of somebody that I have found to be a trustworthy piece of content, a trustworthy entertainer. And for a while, I'm not going to lie, Kevin Hart was that dude. He was funny to me. He had some decent movies, most of them sucked, but he had some decent movies. And in general, he was funny. But to associate yourself with people like Tony, who, again, I don't know anything about him aside from this roast and seeing some of, apparently this is his MO. This is his MO. This is what he does. He pushes the envelope. I don't fuck with people like that. I would never hang out with somebody like that. I would actively avoid people like that. And so, again, because I am very controlling over my content habits, what I let in, what I don't let in, that type of energy slipped in through Kevin. And so what this whole ordeal told me is Kevin's no longer safe for me. His content is no longer content I'm going to seek out, because if I didn't watch Kevin's content, I wouldn't have known who Tony was. Simple as that. And because he didn't think twice about it, I'm pretty sure he got a fat check from Netflix. He was like, it'll be all right. The thing that is was irking me. I'm over it now. But the thing that was getting on my nerves was how hard he was deflecting and like trying to be like, no, I didn't. Anytime you see anybody who gets super emotional about defending themselves, nine times out of 10, they know they did something wrong. I don't care who it is. Like, if I know I didn't do something to my core, and if I didn't do it on purpose, there's no need to get loud. There's no need to make fun of other people. There's no need to belittle other people. Tell your truth. And that's that. Like, you can't do anything else. And so to see how hard he was trying to deflect the questions and like redirect the energy to elsewhere, like he knew 100% that that shit was going to go down. All he had to say was like, my bad. Like if he would have just owned up to it, I would have more respect for him. But because he's acting like a child and just denying and making fun of I forgot her name, but he was like, I would never watch that interview. Like, I don't think he realized what he was saying or how that energy was coming off, but he doesn't care. He has like 40 billion. He probably doesn't have 40 billion. He has a lot of money. He's rich. He doesn't live in the same reality that we do. No matter what we think about celebrities, we need to remember that their reality, their day to day, their norm is so far different from ours. It's just like, it's hard to, what's the word I'm looking for? Have something and like have similarities with them. Like some of the struggles that we have, they do not have, period. Like the gas prices going up, they probably, they're paying more, but are they really feeling that? Probably not. So again, he demonstrated that, hey, I'm not like you. And we get it. Cool. Got it. It's on us to believe him. Everything that he showed in that interview, he was telling us something. I understood the message. So again, thank you for what you did. You were funny. I saw you live once in Orlando. That was dope. But I don't need that type of energy in my life. And like I said, I actively avoided it. And because it came on into my life on the backs of you, like you got to be excommunicated. Now, I'm not saying this to like get everybody else to do the same. I'm just showing you how far I'm going to go in order to control the things that influence my mental health. Mental health is a very important yet fragile thing that we have in this life. And I have come to realize everything influences our mental health. Everything influences our mind. So I'm very aware of the music I listen to. I'm very aware of the movies I watch, the games I play, TV shows that I watch, all that stuff, who I hang out with, what I allow somebody to say about me, all those things. Like my mindset is far stronger than it's ever been. And I get to choose who I am and how I show up in this world. And I don't want that to be influenced by third parties or even family members. Luckily, my family members are super chill. But if I don't believe something that you're saying, or if it doesn't align with how I want to be in this life, then you're gone. There was a situation at DreamCon where somebody I don't fuck with was trying to get back in. And I can see the efforts, and I would too. I'm an awesome person to be around. I'm an awesome person to know and have in your life. And like he was trying to get in without acknowledging the shit that he did. And I was like, nah, that's not happening. Like, we're good. Then he came through on the stream and I was like, oh, I didn't block you here. Let me go ahead and fix that right now. But it is what it is. I have started to do a morning stream on my Radiant Reflection TikTok page. So if you are down to hear some mindset information during the day, I plan to go live at 11 a.m. to probably like 12 p.m., maybe 1 p.m. Eastern, depending on how the conversation's flowing. But it's something that I want to do because, yes, the podcast is one vehicle I can get my message out. I'm starting to hone in on better ways of delivering my message through shorts as well as long form. But I forget that live streaming is like what I do. Like I love live streaming. Live streaming is great. Interacting with people in real time is an amazing thing in certain situations. And I'm able to answer questions on the fly. So if that sounds like something that you'd be into, definitely come through the page Radiant Reflection on TikTok. Be Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. for the foreseeable future. Other than that, if you haven't shared the podcast with someone who could benefit from conversations like these and more, actually, before I go, Before I go, I almost forgot the whole point of me telling that whole Kevin Hart story. When you are going to make your content, when you are preparing it and laying it out and actually doing the thing, I think it is important for us to remember the responsibilities that we have. The things that we are saying in these videos are affecting someone. And I'm not saying every video needs to be a good video and like good message and life lessons and all that shit. I'm just saying is we have the ability to change minds. We have the ability to redirect someone's mood to a mood that would be more preferable for them and the people around them. Like as creators, we wield a lot of power. Doesn't matter how big our audience is, we can make things that people only imagine. I think everybody is a creator because a lot of people tell themselves that their life is worthless or they're not shit or that everything is out to get them. That is a creative way to look at life. And they believe it. Like they're great creators because they believe these things about themselves. All it takes is a thought. All it takes is a little bit of clarity and you can redirect any thought that you have about yourself. So as creators, when we are creating, remember that we have this power and do some good with it. Do a little bit, like make somebody happy, make somebody feel uplifted. And you don't have to do that by saying it to them directly. You could do that by showing how much joy you have about fighting games. You can do that by showing a makeup tutorial. You can do that by playing the lost levels and doing really well. Like there's so many ways to uplift people that don't need direct words for them to hear it, that I think it's on us to exercise this muscle, especially here in the US because things are getting wilder. They've already been wild. And I think we owe it to ourselves to find something that brings us joy and to our audience, something that brings them joy as well. Other than that, thank you for listening. Appreciate it. And as always, protect your mental, keep creating content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.